right, guys, let's talk Cavs for a second. Tyrese Proctor, the Cavaliers' second-round pick, spoke to the media for the first time as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tyrese Proctor was the 49th pick. Emoni Bates was the 49th pick.
Ooh.
Emoni Bates never fully got a chance to show what he could do on the NBA level. Tyrese Proctor signed a fully guaranteed NBA contract, so little different situations.
Has somebody picked up Emoni Bates, by the way?
Not yet. But I'm curious, in your opinion, these are two players drafted in the exact same spot in the draft. It didn't necessarily work out for Emoni Bates here in Cleveland. Why do you have faith? Why do you have confidence that it could work out for Tyrese Proctor?
Because sometimes when you go different places, they just like you. Like, it just is what it is. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, it's a different thing to be. First of all, Kenny Atkinson wasn't there when they drafted Emoni Bates, right? So sometimes there's hey, when you get in, you fit your system, you scout your guys. It's just, that's the way sports be working. That's why people transfer. That's why people are free agents.
No, but why is it going to work with Proctor?
Well, here's the reason why it's going to work with Proctor, because they drafted him.
Oh, yeah.
Right. They gave him a guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
They gave him a guaranteed roster spot.
Sure did.
Like, with Emoni Bates, that regime didn't pick him. Like,
Fair.
Kobe Altman picked him. And so what happens is, you look at it, they're like, all right, plus you deal with that. You think about the idea of, they drafted this guy. He was projected to go higher than what he went, and he just told people, don't draft me. Now, I think it's also funny how Ace Bailey can say, don't draft me. but Proctor say, don't draft me. But if anybody, it's just a weird thing how that people, it matters sometimes, and they think it's cool for some people to say it, but other people can't do that same thing. But they don't have a point guard right now. Darius Garland's going to be out for some time. This is a guy who is a little more size, can shoot. Like you said, he fell to him a little bit. And in the NBA, it's all about the opportunity. Like, sometimes you just behind some people that ain't going to really help you out. They got DeAndre Hunter. They still got Max Strus they be playing at the 3. They drafted Jalen Tyson in the first round last year. So it's a little bit different path to playing as a small forward rather than a guy who's a point guard and DG is out. You need a point guard. Only person ahead of him is Craig Porter Jr. They moved Owen from Ty Jerome, so they got Lonzo Ball, but that means you in the mix. That means you could be seeing playing time. So I think that's the reason why. He's a second-round pick, but I don't think he was a second-round pick that way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He got a guaranteed spot.
I look at it like, one, the fully guaranteed part really speaks volumes. Because if they say we want to give you a guaranteed roster spot, that means they see something in you. I think for him, what's his measurables? How tall is he?
He's between 6'5" and 6'6".
Okay, so that's a shooting guard in the NBA. I think when you look at him, his skill set is shooting the ball, and I don't know what he is on defense, but to me, I think that when you hear people talk about Emoni Bates, they say Emoni Bates had one skill and he could shoot the ball. But as far as athleticism, as far as defense, as far as playing in the system, he never did any of those things. Well, this kid right here is coming from Duke, where he actually played in this type of system. He was a guy that ran plays. He's a guy that can shoot the ball at a high level. He's a guy that can handle the ball. He is a guy that seems like he gives effort. Defense in the NBA is just straight effort. And for a young guy like him, I'm sure he's going to come in because he's trying to earn a spot, more playing time. And the only way you're going to do that is if I play great defense, if I show that I play good energy. He could be like a Sam Merrill where he could come in and hit some shots. But the only way you're going to stay in and keep earning more minutes is what more can you do? Yeah. And I think with him being young and him being hungry like that, I think that that's going to allow him to, play defense at a higher level. And I think that he knows that, listen, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to be at my spot. I'm only going to get like 2 or 3 shots maybe, so I got to make them count. And I think he's going to do a good job of making them count. So I think that's why, I'm a little more confident that he actually can stick on this roster.
Yeah, I think when we took Emoni Bates in, JB in that regime probably had a development plan for him. whether it was working or not, I'm not sure. He didn't get called up too much on that two-way contract. Sorry, Mike's yelling in my ear right now. It's really loud when
You
Mike
shouldn't
talks
be
in
on
your
that
ear.
On the
IP channel.
wrong thing.
Yeah,
on the
that's
wrong
fine.
channel.
No worries.
Go
But
ahead.
anyways, Amani got brought in
Bull.
with the JB regime. I don't know if that development was going, how JB wanted it. He didn't get called up as much as I think a lot of us wanted to see him. When Kenny comes in, Kenny may not have had the same kind of plan and development plan for Amani. And after this year of having him on there, it makes sense to move on if they have a guy at Duke that they look at, they see that they could fit in, and they went after him in the second round. Like, they clearly went after him if he's telling people don't draft him. And I assume that the guaranteed contract, like everybody said, it's what they want. It's a better fit. And hopefully Amani will find somewhere and get picked up somewhere where he can show that opportunity. I don't want to I don't want to take a crap on Eastern Michigan, but the pedigree from Duke is obviously just better. Like, you can
He didn't start off at Eastern, though, right?
No, he started
He was at
off
Memphis.
Yeah,
Memphis and then transferred.
So, this is the sad state of affairs, is what's happening here. It's the sad state of affairs that it's July. It's the sad state of affairs coming off an awful postseason not run by the Cavaliers, that we are talking about whether a guy drafted 49th is going to play a role. Like, second-round picks in the NBA are complete crapshoots. They are, a 95% chance the guy's going to be a non-factor, Mike, on average?
Well, I'll give you
Most
this.
second-round picks don't hit, but now the last 3 years, it's ticked up a little bit because guys have
So
been
now maybe
going
it's an
back.
85% chance. And what percentage of those second-round picks, even when they do play a role in the first year or two on a team that's trying to win a championship?
Not a lot, but it does happen. It wouldn't be the complete. Like last year, Jalen Wells, for example, was a guy who was a second-round pick. The Cavs actually loved him coming out of Washington State last year. He was taken before they got back on the board in the second round. He ended up finishing top 3 in Rookie of the Year and being the starting 3 for Memphis and being one of their more stable players. Now, Memphis did not compete for a championship.
Right.
But they were the 2 seed in the West had been the 2 seed in the West the previous year and the year before that. Back-to-back years, they were the 2 seed in the West.
Right, but last year they stunk.
I'm
that
going to
was
give you an
partly because
example.
John Morant got suspended.
Go ahead.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
If you are a Summer League aficionado, Summer League game, Summer League counts. You just saw Sam Merrill get a bag of money. What are you talking about? He got a bag of money for you. By the way, go back and watch the LA Lakers in, I believe, 2018.
When they had all them
Lonzo
dudes.
Ball,
Kyle-
Josh Hart,
Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma.
Brandon
Those guys were all
Ingram.
first-round picks.
Hold on.
Brandon Ingram.
Caruso,
Yo,
Brandon Ingram, Zubaks,
yo. They had
How many of those
all
guys?
players.
How many of those guys are second-round picks?
Well, Caruso was undrafted. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what Zubac was.
I know, but
Everyone else
that's
was
a
a first-round
rarity.
pick.
I'm not saying it's impossible.
You know how hard it
But
is?
we're talking about this as if
Hey, bro.
he's not going to play a role in this season's team.
Caruso was getting 20 in the finals.
Zubac was a second-round pick. So
Zubac is
I
Zubac is
hear you.
probably
There's
the
no
best
reason he
center.
can't contribute to this team.
But how many years did it take for these guys to develop?
This is what we're saying.
That's
These-
what I'm saying. Even if he plays a role, it's not going to be for a couple of years. He's not playing any minutes that matter this year.
Mike, you still got that graphic of the Cavs
I mean, come
depth
on,
chart?
let's live in reality here.
I
He's
just
not
gave
playing.
you names
but
of
those,
people that ball.
I hear you, but those are
Ballers.
We could give you
I need to see
hundreds
that
of
depth
players
chart
that did
graphic.
nothing that were drafted.
I just gave
this
you-
idea that he's somewhat special
I
because
gave
they
you-
gave him a
Watch
guaranteed
this.
contract
Watch how this works.
is laughable.
You just saw
what-
you
so-
just saw Sam Merrill get a bag of money over Ty Jerome, who was third in the Sixth Man of the Year conversation.
We also just spent
you
last
go-
week talking about Lonzo Ball being injury prone. He could get a chance to get in this
He's
year.
not going to get a chance. Not in games that matter. No.
Well, I mean, the whole regular season
Jalen
doesn't
Tyson
matter.
was a first-round pick, and he didn't play meaningful minutes when it mattered.
Here's the thing.
Of course, if there's enough
Watch this,
injuries,
watch this.
guys are going to play.
If you do not,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Only in Cleveland.
Yeah.
If you do not develop people, we've
Yeah.
been sitting here telling people about development on all of these teams. You know what our problem is? We don't develop diddly squat. I ain't said that in years. Nobody
Well, you
gets a
just said they
chance.
developed.
Nobody.
Sam Merrill.
Sam Merrill.
That's great. I like to see it come around even more. Guardians, give me somebody. Browns, give me somebody. Why do we do this? We got quarterbacks. No, they can't play. We listen. You go over there, DeLauder. No. We don't put them in. We got dudes right here that's trying to get opportunity to play, and we dismiss it. Why? These guys can turn into pivotal pieces that can help you. You don't need them for 5 games. That's what you got the big guys for. But you may need to play here, play there.
I'm going to live.
League game yet?
No,
You guys can live in La La Land.
Next week.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying you got to realize it's a long shot that he's going to be a big factor.
For sure.
That's all I'm saying. Not that it's impossible.
Wait, when you
but
say-
again, this idea that he's not a typical second-round pick because they gave him guaranteed money.
I mean,
that has no merit whatsoever.
Yes, it does.
What it does is it means they're going to at least give him a chance.
No, yes, but if they liked him that much, somebody would have taken him at the back end of the first round.
No, if
he
you tell
told
him
him
don't
not to
take
draft
me.
me.
Oh, baloney.
He didn't want to get drafted because I think he wanted to pick where he wanted to go.
That's nonsense.
I think.
I mean,
Do we have any facts to back that up, Mike?
he was telling teams, but I didn't hear he was telling teams in the first round. I heard he was
Of
telling
course,
teams
it's once it got to the second round, maybe.
after pick 41 when the Warriors took Kobe
All the first
Bryant
round picks are
and traded
guaranteed
him
contracts, correct?
basically.
Why would the Cavs be his choice? He'd play more on a bad team.
Yeah, he was not telling teams at the end of the first round, don't draft me. He was telling
Right.
teams
Come on now.
between
So let's live in reality. Mike, what are the chances this guy plays meaningful minutes this year? 1%?
no, it's higher than that, but it's
I was about
15,
to say, with a fully guaranteed,
15%.
he not on a 2-way deal, is he?
No,
Tyvus.
it's a one-way.
I'd say
They
at least
drafted
10.
Jalen Tyson in the first round. He played 0 meaningful minutes.
Meaningful minutes.
Yes.
That's a different story.
That's
They
all
also-
I'm saying.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They
That's
didn't
the
have the roster spot to give Jalen Tyson when they drafted him, right? They had to
Talking
sign him.
about.
to
He
two-way.
was on the
No, they
roster.
did. He was on the roster last
okay,
year.
then never
Yeah.
mind.
But here's what y'all gotta get, bro.
Yeah.
You
Well,
drafted.
you're right.
I don't know what's happening.
You're more on the right side here.
Of course.
I don't even know what we arguing.
Well, we
I
lost
don't know.
Mike.
I don't know what we
You know,
arguing.
we're all
I don't know.
wrong.
What are we arguing?
What
I think he can play meaningful minutes as a
G took
rookie.
me through this whole thing. I don't know what we arguing anymore. Is he gonna play a meaningful minutes? Like,
Yeah.
It's
Mike
more-
Pimble?
he had-
No, I don't think so.
Hey,
But
hold on.
I'm saying I expect to see him on the floor.
Hey,
That's
sure.
what I expect to see him.
Like
That's what
Jalen
I
Tyson was.
I thought that's what we was talking about.
Yes, I agree with you.
I didn't know we was talking about like he
We
gonna
have-
be the starter
no,
or
what I'm-
the
what-
sixth
go ahead,
man. I
Jim.
didn't
Go
say
ahead.
that.
What I'm saying is, why nobody else does this?
What do you mean
Nobody.
nobody else does this.
Does
What does that
what?
even mean?
Like we have this affinity against. Oh no, what's the chances they come in, bro? That's not how it works. When you play the game, you get an opportunity to see a person and evaluate them based on what they are doing today, not about what you thought they were going to do.
That's fine. What does that have to do with me?
Yeah,
You're
we're
right.
comparing it to Amani Bates
No,
and his
yeah.
chance,
Well,
right?
See,
That was the idea.
that's what threw me off because
Like,
we was comparing it
compared
to
to Amani
like
Bates,
Amani
yes.
Bates.
But
We never
just-
saw him,
right.
so I thought we. That's why I said, yeah, he definitely gonna get
And
some
my
time.
thing is, just because you didn't see Amani Bates does not mean that this guy shouldn't get the opportunity or won't get more playing time than Amani
Right.
Bates.
No, he will.
I think he will, but ultimately, all I'm saying is he's not going to play meaningful minutes this year and when it matters in the playoff game.
I don't know that.
Most
no, I
likely.
don't
Most
think he'll play
likely,
in the playoffs
yeah.
at all,
I mean, I don't.
They'd have to
I didn't
have a
know
lot
that's
of
what the
injuries.
argument
But-
was.
so
That's all I'm saying.
And
I
my
didn't know
argument,
that's what the
my
argument
argument was, yes, you can get on here and you can say Summer League don't count and we ain't gonna
doesn't.
see nothing. But guess what? You just saw Sam Merrill get meaningful minutes.
But also, like,
But
what
not
are
in
the
his rookie year.
What does the meaningful minutes mean, though, if we don't think the regular season means anything?
Like,
so what do
I'm
you,
talking about in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, no, he's
Like,
not
so
going to play in the
what I'm
playoffs
saying,
at all.
I'm giving you a 1-to-1 answer.
Yeah.
Because they said Summer League didn't count back then.
It doesn't.
They said nobody on that roster back then was going to do nothing.
Wait,
Sam,
on
Sam
the
Merrill's 29 years old.
I
What
get
are you
it.
talking about?
But
I'm just saying he's not going to play meaningful minutes as a rookie. I didn't say not ever.
Well, listen, so we've had this conversation about Summer League before. Everybody's like, it doesn't count. They're never
It
going to
doesn't.
play. Why are you watching it?
Yeah.
If it did not count, why do you have someone on your roster that's contributing? It does count. It's an evaluation period. It's like saying the preseason don't count.
It does. The preseason doesn't count either. It's an evaluation period.
I mean, yeah.
It's not proof of anything.
It is. We'll see him
What do you-
against their other summer league
What do
teams.
you think it means? What does the summer league mean? Like, Most of the guys that play well in the summer league don't do anything in the league.
I just gave you 17 names of guys that did something.
You gave 5, but most of them are first-round picks.
No, I gave you 2. One was undrafted, and another dude was a second-round pick.
I know that, but the only thing I'm saying is he's not going to play minutes that matter in his rookie year.
But
give me a guy who was drafted in the second round and played meaningful minutes in his rookie year.
Draymond Green.
There it is.
In his rookie year?
Here's
the Joker.
Here's what I'm going to give you.
In his rookie year.
I mean, Jalen Wells last year is the best example. Jalen Wells.
Didn't they center didn't get hurt and like the Joker had to play?
So
I don't remember.
I don't either.
If you break it down and say this, Lonzo, we just said when we got Lonzo Ball, what did we say? How many games has Lonzo Ball played in how many years?
70 games in the last 4 years.
Okay, pause. How many games is Darius Garland out next year? Did he have surgery?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to come back in December.
Okay,
hold on.
If there's enough injuries, he's going to play.
I'm just showing you how the percentages look. So you tell me you got a guy that's your backup point guard that plays 70-some games in 5 years. You got Darius Garland who just came off a longer injury. Do you want to rush him back because the regular season don't count? No, he may come back later than possible. That leaves you Craig Porter Jr., who was what?
Undrafted.
Thank you. And
hasn't played meaningful minutes.
And the guy that they just took and gave a guaranteed deal to with millions of dollars. How do you not see the path to him playing?
The only thing meaningful for Bull right here is the playoffs. We don't care about the regular season.
But you're
what he's saying.
Of course,
That's
if
the
4
point.
guys get hurt, he's going to play. I'm not,
he'll play
what
the
other
regular
choice do they
season.
have?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's slightly dismissive to say, like, he's not going to play. And I'm like, bro, do you see who's on the roster? Am I crazy, chat?
I never
put it in the chat.
Out of your mind.
Am I losing
G versus Bull poll.
Am I losing it to say that this
The only way he's going to play meaningful minutes in the playoffs is if everybody gets hurt. Which is possible.
Which everybody was hurt.
I hear you.
They stay hurt.
But Craig Porter Jr. still didn't play meaningful minutes.
Did Craig Porter Jr. play in the playoffs? I don't even remember.
No, he got like 6 minutes.
Okay.
And there might have been a reason
Even
for
with
that.
all the injuries, he didn't play.
By the way, but then again, was Craig Porter Jr.'s? I'm just breaking it down.
How many injuries? How many injuries there need to be
for
this guy to play in the playoffs?
You ain't got that depth chart graphic.
This is a landslide.
I don't have the depth chart, but what do you want to know?
Who is at the 2? What's the depth at the 2?
Don, Merrill, Proctor. If you want to consider Strus a 2, then Strus is the backup 2.
And he plays 2 positions.
Okay, wait, no. So I'm about to do some. I'm trying to. All right, so
And he plays
if Donovan really gonna play the 1, and they would probably rotate. It'd probably be Donovan and Lonzo at the 1, and then they have Sam and Strus. And who was the other guy you say? I'm missing somebody, right?
Proctor.
Oh.
Let's hope he's that 1 in a million guy.
He could be.
That is a factor.
Could be.
As
The
a
math.
rookie in the second round.
Tyvus is like,
I'm living in reality
Could
where that
be.
doesn't happen, really.
that math is mathing.
Duke players tend to do good in the NBA.
I mean,
so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for right now.
Honestly, while Darius is out, that's the best time to play him. It's the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It's meaningful, meaningless to you.
Tyvus. When this is a landslide. I just keep bringing people. Come on to the fold, Tyvus. When you was an undrafted free agent, people tell you it's better to be an undrafted free agent than go in the 6th or 7th round.
Correct.
You know why?
You get to pick your location.
Because you can pick people on the roster. I'm better than him.
Yep.
I'm coming to get his minutes.
Exactly
He was garbage last year. He's coming in from Duke. You just said he from Duke.
Yeah.
He like, listen, they got Craig Porter Jr. He was undrafted. You know what his weakness is? Shooting. I'm shooting 40-something%.
So you think he's going to play in the playoffs?
This year, no.
Listen.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
And I agree with you.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We got to that point.
I'm so confused. Are we talking about playoffs, or are we going to talk about is we going to see him play this
Hold
year?
on, the topic that Mike gave us was about Amani Bates. It had nothing to do.
You know how I feel about meaningful minutes.
Meaningful minutes.
Yeah.
You said meaningful minutes, and you
He's
died.
not playing in the playoffs.
He died on the meaningful minutes.
He's not playing in the playoffs, and he's not playing down the stretch, even in the regular season.
Yeah, in the
a
first
close game against a good
couple
team.
of weeks, he probably can. While
Maybe.
Darius is injured.
Maybe. I think even that's a little.
He can.
I'm reading tea leaves.
Outside of that, no. I'm with you.
All right, I put this up in the YouTube
And let me make it
chat.
clear,
This
I'm not
is
saying,
unbelievable.
guys, I'm not saying he can't possibly become a good player. I'm just saying it takes time.
I ain't
There's
saying
a
that.
reason he was drafted 49th. There's reasons for it. It's
But-
unlikely that even if he ends up being a good player, that it happens right away. That's all I'm saying.
Bull, there's been 100 votes. 81 have voted for G. Just a heads up.
I mean, that's just.
Landslide. It wasn't debatable.
What's
Who's
the
right,
question?
Bull or G?
It wasn't debatable. It was a
what is it?
I didn't
landslide.
even get the live chat.
I
up.
didn't even
What's
give him a
going on?
choice.
So 81% of the audience thinks this guy's going to play meaningful minutes this season.
I just said who's
That's
right, G.
that's the most
or
insane
Bull.
thing I've ever heard in my life.
We got other things.
He doesn't even believe that.
We have other things I really want to get to, so we're going to wrap this up.